Once again, this is your 3.4 notes. Okay, your old way of writing a function is y equals mx plus b. Your new way of writing a function is with f of x. That means it's a function and we're going to evaluate the function. So we're replacing the y in our equation with an f of x. F of x just represents f of x, which means function of x. So if you're looking to input your number, it's going to go in place of x. So write the following equations in function notation. So function notation, we're just going to exchange our y for f of x. So f of x equals 5x plus 3. Notice these are already solved for y. Okay, same with this one. F of x equals 3x minus 10. Okay, same with this one. F of x equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now that's what your function notation looks like. When you're evaluating a function, that just means we're plugging in a number for x. So when you go through and you plug in your number for x, that just means I'm replacing all my x's with a parentheses and the number that they gave me. So this first one, our function, is x plus 5, and we're going to look for f of 2. So I'm going to replace f of x with f of 2, and then everywhere there's an x, I'm going to put a 2 in parentheses. So 2 plus 5 is 7. So where x is 2, f is 7. So my point for that is going to be 2 comma 7. Okay, this last one, we're going to go through and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to input our 2 for x. So f of 2 equals negative 4 times 2 plus 7. So I put that straight into my calculator just like that. And that ends up giving me f of 2 equals negative 1. So when I write it as a point, it's 2 comma negative 1. Same with this one. It doesn't matter how many x's you have. You're still going to input that number in parentheses. So f of negative 3 equals, in parentheses, negative 3 squared plus 2, parentheses again, negative 3 plus 1. So everywhere there's that x, you're going to put parentheses and your number that they gave you. When I put that into the calculator, I end up getting f of negative 3 equals 4. Okay, so then I'm going to write it as negative 3, 4. So all you're doing to evaluate a function is plugging in. So the last one that we're going to do is this one, h of 1. So everywhere there is an x, I'm still going to put a 1. So negative 2, parentheses, 1, minus 7. I put this into my calculator, and I end up getting negative 9. So h of 1 is negative 9. So I write it as 1 comma negative 9. Okay, we don't need to do these because they're the exact same. Go to your next page. Okay, this is the same thought process. It's just now taking them and putting them as a word problem. So let f of t be the temperature outside and f be temperature hours after 6 a.m. So what we know is that the temperature is our t and f of t is our y. So if I'm going to write it as a point, I'm going to have time first and temperature second. Okay, and it's the temperature after 6 a.m. Okay, here's another one. Each statement we're going to explain. So this says f of 0 is 58. So that means my temperature at 0 hours is 58 degrees. This one says temperature at 6 hours equals in degrees. Okay, so however much that is. Okay, same with this one. Temperature at 3 hours is less than the temperature at 9 hours. So if I'm going to look at this graph, okay, this one right here, we're going to go through and answer these questions. So it says find f of 2. So f of 2 means when x is 2, here's the x is 2, what is my y? So I look and see where that line crosses when x is 2. So at 2, my y is 1, so f of 2 equals 1. Okay, same way over here. When f of is negative 1, what is going to be where my line is? That's also negative 1. Okay, if I'm trying to find f at negative 4, I go to negative 4 on my x, see where my line is at that point. It's at negative 3. So the way to write that as a point is negative 4 comma negative 3. Okay, if I'm going to go through and do a table, okay, and I want to do f of 1, f of 0, they've given me an equation. First I'm going to have to plug them in. So 3 times 1 plus 1, okay, when I plug that into my calculator I get 4. So wherever f is 1, okay, it's going to be at 4. F of 0, I'm going to plug in 0 for my x. So 3 times 0 plus 1 equals 1. So whenever it's at 0, my y is 1. Okay, and you would do the same thing to plug in the rest of these, and then go through and put your dots on your graph. So 0, 1 is a point, 1, 4 is a point, and then we would end up connecting all of our dots and drawing them. Okay, that's where we're going to stop for today. You do not need to do the last word problem. Have a great afternoon.